Hello people that in the house doing. Today I just want to answer a question that the taoiseach has said yesterday. The taoiseach said in relation to the army that we can't favour the army because it'd be unfair. Now I tell the taoiseach very straight, and this is my answer. It'd be unfair to treat the army especially because the nurses and teachers are not being paid the same amount and they're not getting a good wage either, and they should be getting a good wage. The army and the teachers and the nurses should be getting a good wage because they do more work than the government. And what I would say to the taoiseach and what I would say to the president, what I would say to every member of the Dáil and every member of the Seanad, you complain saying it's unfair. It's unfair that the TDs in Dáil Éireann get 5,000 every year, 5,000 extra every year. It's true, they do get €5,000 extra a year. How they could take it off? Imagine there's good lot of TDs in the Dáil. There's a good lot of senators too. They probably get a big rise too. How you can take their wages away, that 5,000, and give it to the army or give it to the nurses. I'm sure it would help them boost their pay up. I'm sure if the TDs took that bit of a leisure off, because that's unfair. That's unfair to be giving them extra 5,000 for sitting down in Dáil Éireann. They already get enough. The taoiseach already gets enough. The president definitely has enough because he has a teacher's salary. His daughters are in the Senate, in the Seanad. Not the Senate. And he has a president. He's getting a TD's wage, a TD's pension, may I say, and he's getting a president's wage too. So he has enough money. There's enough money to go around to give to the army. So how come he doesn't give it to the army? I wouldn't answer. I really do wouldn't answer. I wouldn't answer from the taoiseach too, because he's getting outrageous money for sitting down. Obviously he should get something. I'm not saying that he should not get anything, but he should take a tiny bit for himself. But he should take a 20% pay cut to give it to the nurses, give a tiny bit to the nurses, give a tiny bit to the army, give a tiny bit to the teachers. And that would sort the problem out. Wouldn't it not sort the problem out? Because I think it would. I think it would if the taoiseach took a 20% pay drop every month. I think it would sort it out. And every member of the Dáil done the same. I think it would. Because 99,000 a year is a lot of money for a TD getting the Dáil. That's how much they get. And then add the 5,000 on every year. Add another 5,000 on. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. They could take a 20% pay cut. That's how you solve it. But would they? Would the president take? Because President Higgins has way enough money. It's too much money. The Taoiseach should look up to the president and say, you know what? Or look down in case of him. And say, you know what? You have a teacher's salary. Your two daughters are in the Seanad. You have a TD salary. You have a presidential salary. You have a pensioner salary too, a state pension. And your wife has too. You're drowned in the money. How come you don't give it to the army? It's as simple as that. How come he doesn't take the president? He could afford to take a 70% pay cut, the president of Ireland. But apparently he doesn't want to because he doesn't care. And that's my response to the taoiseach. How come you could take away the 5,000 every TD gets extra a year? Because they got another 5,000 this year. Next year they're going to get another 5,000. Next year they're going to get another 5,000. Maybe it'll be 10,000 next year. Oh, God knows how now. Because they're so crooked in this country. Take it away. Give it to the army. Give it to the nurses. Give it to the teachers. Boom. Bob's your uncle. Because that's how you solve it. Because that's what I would do if I was taoiseach and if the army was in this state. Simple as that. I say I take a 20% pay cut, 40%. How much it takes to make the army better again. And it's simple as that, because I wouldn't have to say that the army isn't this bad of a state. Because to be honest with you, they really do have to take a pay cut. Even the Minister for Defence needs to take a really, really big pay cut of nearly 90%. That's nearly how much I think he should take. Because the good God, the way the army is being handled is beyond human cruelty.